If you've already made the Sophie scarf and are ready to level up, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll walk you through the new techniques introduced in the Sophie Hood pattern. Welcome back to Flower City Fibers. Let's jump in. Since this video focuses on the unique parts of the Sophie Hood, I won't be repeating techniques already covered in my Sophie scarf video. You'll find a link to that video in the description, along with where to purchase the pattern. The pattern lists a few different yarn options, but they're all DK or light worsted weight yarn. If you want to substitute your yarn, I recommend choosing something in the same weight category and made from a soft, animal-based fiber that'll give you a similar feel and drape. In this video, I'm using Wool Folk Far in colorway 48, a soft, elegant blue. Because it's also a DK weight animal fiber, I can simply match the pattern's yardage without worrying about any adjustments. Let's talk about sizes and hood depth. The Sophie Hood is available in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. The only difference between all 3 of these sizes is the length. This means that there are going to be more rows between increases and decreases depending on the size you choose. In this video, I'm making a size small, so my finished hood should be about 40¼ inches in length or 102 centimeters. No matter which size you decide to make, the hood depth is the same, 9½ inches or 24 centimeters. You're going to work back and forth each row just as the pattern established until the width of the work reaches a specific size. This width also accounts for the depth of the hood. Although the pattern specifies how wide or deep to make the hood, the beautiful thing about this design is that it's highly customizable, so you can make your hood as deep as you want. If you want a shallow hood, stick to the pattern specifications. But if you want something deeper and you have enough yarn, you can go as wide as you want. It won't throw off the rest of the pattern. Due to the size of the scarf, you'll most likely need more than 1 skein of yarn. There are several ways to join new yarn depending on your project and fiber type. But for this pattern, I'm using a simple tied join that will be virtually invisible in garter stitch. When you have just a few inches of yarn left from your current skein, align the end of the old yarn with the beginning of the new skein and tie a knot. Make sure to leave at least 1 to 2 inches of tail on each side of the knot so you can easily weave in the ends later. Then continue knitting as usual. You'll notice that I'm not joining the yarn at the beginning or end of a row. Instead, I'm joining it somewhere in the middle. That's intentional. Joining mid-row allows the knot to nestle into the garter stitch bumps, making it even easier to hide. As you can see, the knot sits snugly against the fabric. Once the tail ends are woven in, the join will be completely invisible. After you've reached the correct width, you'll hit a point where the pattern asks you to slip those first 3 I-cord stitches onto a holder. It might feel odd in the moment, like you're breaking your flow, but these stitches are key to the hood structure, and you'll come back to them later to finish the edge cleanly. Grab a piece of yarn and a tapestry needle. Thread the needle through the stitches purlwise to prevent them from twisting. And that's it. Just let them hang out here until we're ready to come back to them. The hood is knit from tip to tip. After you've reached your maximum width and placed your I-cord stitches on hold, the real shaping begins. A gently curved edge is created using a series of strategically placed decreases. Once this side of the hood is complete, you'll mirror those decreases on the other side using increases. Now comes the part that unnerves a lot of knitters, reintroducing the I-cord stitches. you'll be slipping those stitches back onto your needle and working across them as if nothing happened. Knitting to the end of a right side row, bring your working yarn to the front. Then slip those I-cord stitches back on the needle. Turn your work to the other side and start knitting just as you did before with the I-cord edge on both sides. It feels awkward, but this is what creates that continuous I-cord edge all the way around. I promise it comes together beautifully in the end. The final bind off is short and sweet, but you want it to look clean. Make sure you're binding off your knit stitches knitwise and binding off the purl stitches purlwise. With the remaining tail, thread a tapestry needle and tuck it inside the tube created by the I-cord edge. To finish the hood, you need to seam up the space in the back using the mattress stitch. This is also known as the invisible stitch, and for good reason. When done correctly, it should give the appearance of a hidden seam. To construct the mattress stitch, you need to secure your yarn to the hood. To do this, we're not going to tie a knot. Instead, we're going to make a figure-8 closure with the yarn. Bring the yarn up from underneath one side. Then underneath the opposite side. Next, go back under the first side again, forming a simple figure 8. Pull the yarn snug, and you're ready to start seaming. Now take a look at those bumps along the edge of your garter stitch fabric. You can pick up the ones closest to the edge if you prefer, but I find that doing so can sometimes cause the seam to stretch out over time. Instead, I like to work into the second bump from the edge. I find it creates a cleaner, more stable finish. You'll alternate between two types of bumps. Under bumps, which look like little smiles, and over bumps, which look like tiny umbrellas. Starting from the bottom, alternate picking up one under bump and one over bump from each side of the seam as you work your way to the top. Once you reach the top, insert the yarn back into the top of the hood and weave in your end to secure it. And that's it. Your Sophie hood is complete. I hope you love the fit and feel as much as I do. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more timeless knits and technique deep dives. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Flower City Fibers.